Okay, I'm buying my first stock. And Apple. Watch this.
No, you're not buying Apple.
What do you mean, no, I'm not? $100, one tap, and it's right here.
You're gonna buy a fund that's got Apple in it. Put the phone down and sit.
Okay, but that's the same thing, though. Apple stock, fund with Apple in it. Same difference. Just let me buy Apple.
It is not even close to the same thing. And you thinking it is? That right there is the mistake that costs you kids the most money.
Pops, come on. It's one tap, and I own a piece of Apple. Done. What's wrong with that?
You own a piece of one company. That's all you own. Company has a bad 5 years. So do you. You just tied your whole $100 to one boat.
A really good boat, though. It's Apple. It's not going to sink.
Best boat in the harbor still sinks if it hits a rock. How much you got in that app? Total, right now.
Like $400 in meme stocks. And it's down. Dad, don't start.
$400 on a couple companies, hoping. And now you want to do the same thing with 100 more. Kid, I've got money that's been growing for 40 years, and I never once bet it on a single company. Not one time.
40 years. And you're worth, what, like...
Enough that I don't check it before bed. That's not the brag. The brag is I did the boring thing. And the boring thing worked.
Okay, so what's the boring thing?
First, you gotta understand what you're even about to buy. These 4 words you keep throwing around like they're the same. Stock, fund, index fund, ETF. You don't actually know the difference, do you?
Honestly, no, not really. I just say 'em. All right, fine. Teach me.
Sit down. Grab that napkin and a pencil behind my ear. We're going to knock these 4 down one at a time. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly which one you actually want.
And why just buy Apple is apparently a crime?
And why just buy Apple is the move that quietly costs beginners more than almost anything. All right, here we go.
Word 1. A stock. That's the smallest piece there is. One share of one company.
You buy a share of Apple, you own a tiny sliver of Apple. That's it. Apple does great, your sliver does great. Apple has a rough decade, so do you.
All right, and that's what I want, a piece of Apple.
Sure, a piece of Apple, and a piece of what else? Your whole plan is one company. You're putting all of it on a single horse and crossing your fingers.
Now, word 2. A fund.
Okay, what's a fund?
A fund is a basket. Somebody takes a whole bunch of stocks, hundreds sometimes, and drops them all in one bucket. Then they sell you a share of the bucket. You buy one thing. You own a little piece of every company in it.
So instead of one apple tree, I get...
the whole orchard. That's exactly it. A stock is one apple tree. Could be the best tree in the county. Could catch a blight and die on you. A fund is the whole orchard. Some trees have a bad year, some have a great one, but the orchard keeps growing. The orchard keeps growing.
Okay, but somebody's running the orchard. Somebody's picking which trees.
Now you're asking the right question. That's the whole ball game. Who's picking? Word 3, index fund. Some funds, a fella in a suit picks the trees for you. Studies them, trades them, charges you good money to do it.
So I'm paying him to guess for me.
Other funds don't pick at all. There's a list, the S&P 500.
The 500 biggest American companies. An index fund just buys the whole list and sits there. No fella, no guessing.
Wait, so the index is just a list?
A list? That's all an index is. Somebody keeps score on a chunk of the market and writes it down. The index fund buys the whole scorecard and leaves it alone.
Huh. Nobody ever told me it was just a list.
Last word. ETF. Sounds scary. It ain't. Stands for Exchange Traded Fund. All it means is a fund you can buy and sell any minute the market's open, like a stock. The old kind of fund, a mutual fund, you can only buy once a day, after the market closes, at one set price. An ETF, you click, it's done. Middle of the afternoon.
Okay, so those are two totally different things then. Index fund, ETF.
Here's the part nobody tells you, and it's the whole trick. These aren't four things standing in a row. There's stocks, one company, and then everything else is a basket.
Okay, so one company or a basket.
An index fund tells you what's in the basket and who picked it. Nobody picked it. ETF just tells you how you buy it, anytime, like a stock. You can own an index fund that is an ETF. Same orchard, two labels. An S&P 500 index fund and an S&P 500 ETF. Same 500 companies inside. One you buy once a day, the other you buy at lunch. That's the whole difference.
Oh, that actually cracks it open. Nobody's ever said it like that.
Now, why do I keep pushing you toward the boring index one? Fees. Every fund takes a cut of your money every single year. They got a fancy name for it, the expense ratio. That's just a yearly fee.
How much are we talking? Like a real number.
Say you've got $10,000 in. A fund run by the feller in the suit might charge 1%. 1% of 10,000 is $100 every year, whether the thing goes up or down.
$100 a year. Okay, that's not nothing.
The plain index fund, the one that just copies the list, might charge 0.03%. On that same 10,000, that's $3 a year.
Wait, $100 versus $3?
100 versus 3. And here's the kicker. That fella charging you 100? Most years he doesn't even beat the boring list he's charging you to beat. Most of them, over the long haul, lose to it. Don't take my word, look it up. So you're paying $100 a year for worse.
Well, but it's only $100 a year, right? I mean, in the grand scheme, is that really the thing to worry about?
It's never only $100. That's the whole trap. That's $100 that never gets to sit in there and grow every year for 30, 40 years. Run that all the way out, and it's not $100 you gave away. It's tens of thousands. A little fee, real quiet, every year while you're not even looking. That's how it gets you.
That can't be most of them. There's got to be a few bad ones.
Most of them, over 20, 30 years, it's not close. Now the other number, your one-horse plan. Say you put all 400 of your Robin Hood money into one company, and it drops in half. Bad quarter. Happens all the time.
Then I've got $200. Which, yeah. That's basically what happened.
Say you'd spread that same 400 across 500 companies instead. 2 of them tank. You wouldn't even feel it. The other 498 carry you. That's the orchard doing its job. There's a $10 word for it. Diversification.
Just means don't put it all in one spot. That's the whole word.
Real quick, next video, I'm making Pops look at my actual phone. I've got 7 different money apps. 7. He's got 1. It is going to be a whole thing.
7 apps for one wallet. Good Lord.
Okay, real pushback though. Single stocks make people rich. My coworker put everything into one company last year and made 20 grand. The index fund just matches the market. Why would I settle for average?
Your coworker. One guy. You know how many guys did the exact same thing and lost it? You don't, because they don't post about it. They go quiet. For every 20 grand story, there's a whole stack nobody talks about.
Okay, fair, but still, average. You keep selling me on average.
You keep saying average like it's an insult. Owning the whole market, the boring way, for 30 years. That beats most of the pros who do this for a living. That's not average. That's winning by refusing to play their game.
So you win by not even playing? That's kind of backwards.
It feels backwards. Look, I don't know which company's going to be the next big thing. Neither do you. Neither does the fella in the suit, mostly, so I stopped guessing. I bought all of them. The winners in the basket carry the losers, every single time. You don't have to be right about one company if you own all of them.
Owning all of them, so you don't have to be right. Okay. That's kind of the whole pitch, huh?
That's the whole pitch. Took me years to trust it. Let me tell you when I actually learned to trust it. 1987. I was 34 years old. Just started putting a little money every month into one of those boring index funds. A whole list. 500 companies. Automatic.
34. That's basically me in a few years.
October that year. You ever hear of Black Monday?
I don't think so. What is it? What happened?
One day, October 19th, 1987, the market dropped 22% in a single day. Biggest one-day drop there's ever been, before or since. Grown men on the news looked like somebody had died. Folks were calling their brokers and couldn't even get through.
22% in one day? On money you just started putting in? What did you do?
I kept buying. Same amount. The next month and the month after that. Didn't sell one thing. And it wasn't because I was brave, kid. It's because I didn't own one company I had to panic about. I owned the whole orchard, and an orchard doesn't die in a day.
I think I would have sold. I would have panicked and sold everything.
Most people did. That was a mistake. Took a couple years, but it came all the way back. Then it kept climbing.
That money I put in back then, still working. 40 years later, still working.
40 years. Still going. Man.
Your grandmother thought I'd lost my mind, buying more while the news was screaming the sky was falling. She still brings it up at Thanksgiving. 40 years later, she still brings it up.
She's not wrong to. That took some nerve.
Wasn't nerve. Slow money, kid. Slow money is real money.
So, how would I think about it if I were sitting where you're sitting? I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm telling you how I'd think it through.
Okay, walk me through it.
1. Decide what you actually want. You want to bet on one company or own a slice of a whole lot of them?
Most people, most of the time, if they're honest, they want the lot.
Okay. Own the whole orchard.
The orchard. 2. If it's the orchard, then an index fund or an ETF that owns a big chunk of the market. That's your plain vanilla. Nothing fancy.
I checked the fee, the expense ratio.
3. Exactly. Check the fee. You want a little number. 0.03, not 1.0. The smaller that number, the more of your money stays yours instead of somebody else's.
What about ETF versus mutual fund? How do I pick?
4. For you starting out, that part's just plumbing. Buy whichever one your account makes easy.
And don't lose a whole weekend agonizing over it. It's not the decision that matters.
And single stocks? Never again.
Didn't say never. You love a company, you want to own a real piece of it, fine. But small money. Money you could set on fire and still sleep that night. That's a lottery ticket, not a retirement plan. Just don't ever mix the two up. I'll tell you something I don't say out loud much. I've still got 2 individual stocks I bought back in the 80s. 2 companies I liked. Thought I was pretty clever picking them.
And? How'd they do?
The boring fund beat both of them by a mile. I held on to them out of pride, not out of sense. Took me the better part of 20 years to admit the boring thing was smarter than my good idea.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say you were wrong about money.
Get old enough, you say it more often. The market's humbled me plenty. That's actually how you know it's real and not somebody selling you something. Own the orchard. Stop guessing the tree.
So, now you actually know what these 4 even are? Stock, fund, index fund, ETF. Next up, Pops finds out I keep all this across 7 different apps and tells me how many accounts a person actually needs. Subscribe so future you doesn't end up like me. 7 apps, no idea which one's holding the money.